Okay, hello everyone. This is my week 2 review. I didn't think I was actually going to have much to tell you for this week, because my feeling was, looking back on the week, that I hadn't had that much success. But then I went through I went and reviewed all the videos and made notes on them, and actually what's come out is like there's a lot of learning that I've done. So I'll go through some of it then. So what did I learn? So last week my consistency went down, I think, outside of actually going into the city centre and doing these approaches. Like in my general life, like doing my meditation, doing my work, exercising, all of those things kind of weren't as consistent as the week before. And actually, as the week went on, it got worse. But despite that, when I was in town for less time, and I was definitely more competent. I was more competent when I was approaching people. They were stopping. I didn't really get any major rejections, except for the one yesterday. So like, it's clear that my consistency in my approach is going up, and my success is going up as well, which is fantastic. I learned that approaching just, it's not hard, it's not difficult. The thing that stops us from approaching is the fear of doing it. And as long as I keep pushing up against that fear, then the number of people and the types of people that I approach is going to improve too. So that's a big deal, that one. Now, one of my goals last week was to kiss someone in the street, and I didn't do that. However, what I did do was I learned to express my attraction to people a lot more. Particularly, I felt with that girl yesterday, like I felt that I was being very authentic, very congruent, and I thought that was really brilliant that I'd done that. And it's, for me, that's a great thing, to not be hiding from people, hiding myself from people, you know. So what else though? This one is massive. Like, I learnt that there is just a never-ending supply of people that you can meet in your life. Like, they're just everywhere. You walk outside and you will see them. You'll see people that you like, that you want to talk to. But perhaps what's even more interesting and even more huge about this for me is that what clearly came out looking back at my videos is that if I don't put attention into my mental well-being, my emotional well-being, my physical well-being, if I don't look after myself, the number of people that I see that I want to talk to goes down. Now, as the week went on, and I kind of started to wobble because of my commitments, the number of people that I approached went down. And the reason the number of people I approached went down is because the number of people that I sought to approach went down. And this is like, it's like I've just learnt that in terms of my life, if I want to achieve or get to the place where, and live in the way that I want to live, like, you know, you can't compromise on your well-being. You just can't do it. It has to be a priority. And I think, like, you know, things happen. You can't always stay 100% on top of it. But I think at least this is a clear indication to me that that I can look out for these things. The signs that you can look out for that tell you, you know, you need to go back and work on your health. So that was, wow, that's really big. Okay, so this is another one that's like quite big for me, and that is, if I want to leave the house every day, if I want to make this a consistent part of my life, I have to be motivated to leave the house. And what I learned last week was that I need a problem to solve socially. It has to be, I have to go out with something that I need to work on. because if I don't have anything to work on socially, then I'll just be sat at home and my brain will be telling me, well, you don't need to go out today. So that tells me that I need to have a plan, like always, regarding my social improvement. So again, I mean, that's a big thing, because I've struggled with getting outside for a long time, and learning that means that I now have a strategy for the rest of my life that I can use to get outside the house, and all the great things are going to come from getting outside the house, as you're seeing with this 30-day challenge. Okay, so another thing is, when I'm talking to somebody, I need to like really look at that person. I need to look at, I need to look at it from the point of view, what can I give them? So it can't be what can I get from it. It has to be what can I give them. There was a talk that was on day 13 from the event that I went to with all those guys, and the guy Yanis, he talked about giving, and I think that's definitely come out in the time that I've been going out and talking to people, is that the more that I give them, the better the interactions are. So that's a big deal. With that in mind, I think I observed as well that just in general, people are really afraid to talk to each other in general when they're outside. So, I did a video on day 11 on that, about not having fear about talking to people and why you need to express yourself authentically. And having thought about that a bit more and done this review, I realised that one of the greatest things that you could give people, or someone, or a stranger, someone on the street, is the feeling of being able to talk without having fear. If I can give somebody that feeling of not being afraid, then that's a great thing to give someone. So, okay, so that was my learning. I think you'll agree that's a lot of learning. But my specific milestones, what specific milestones did I achieve? Okay, so I went on another instant date this week. So at the moment I'm 1 a week of those. I took 3 numbers from people. All of them texted back this week, so that's a clear improvement from last week. Actually, one of them I didn't even give her number. I didn't take her number. She took mine and then actually purposely contacted me. So definite improvement there. I approached the same person twice in one day, which again for me is an achievement, because it's easy to just talk to someone and then they'll go away and then you'll be like, oh well, they don't want to talk to me anymore. But I overcame that, and I feel good about it. I learned to approach somebody when I'm occupied doing something else, so in my case travelling on a bicycle. So I approached 2 people while I was cycling this week, which again for me is like really big, because looking at the numbers of the people, the missed opportunities, a lot of those, probably at least half of them occurred while I was actually travelling and maybe getting about my day. So for me to practice that aspect of being able to stop what I'm doing and go and engage is great. I overcame my solo approach anxiety this week, and I did that by coming up with a game. So really more than that, it was just an observation. So I would observe how many people that I wanted to talk to, and I would note down the number, and then I would also note down how many people I did talk to. And I would just compare those, really. I mean, my maths is terrible and I got it wrong on some of the videos. That's one of the reasons why I've stopped putting up the stats, because like my brain's just too busy working out other stuff. But I think this game itself is actually really useful, just to keep a tally of, it's in a way it's keeping you accountable, and it changes the anxiety, because you're not afraid of talking to people, you're afraid of the fact that you're not talking to people, which is kind of like reframing the fear into a positive light. So that's good. I also overcame my fear of approaching a male group. I went... Oh,
9 o'clock.
I went to an RSD event, which had a group of guys, and I was really scared to go to that, but they were just amazing, and I learned a lot from them as well, so I was really happy that I did that. Also, my instant date, she's preliminarily agreed to meet me this week, so again, that's a big win. Okay, so what do I need to focus on? What areas do I need to focus on? I'm really struggling with managing my work life. I think that's been really evident this week. It's just made me, I've just spent a lot of my day really frustrated, really upset, and on some of the days I said that I was emotionally feeling down. I think I've been thinking about this and what I can do about it, and I think the reason is that basically I'm complaining way too much about my work. I think I need to stop complaining about my work, because if I do that, then it just basically, all I'm doing is I'm just making it harder for myself, and that's pointless. So this week, what I'm going to do is I'm always going to tell myself that I'm doing a good job on my work. And actually, further to this, one of the things that I learned on the Guy group meet was they did visualization exercises about sort of visualizing what perfection would look like. And one person was talking about in their sort of work life and how to approach that. And I think I want to spend 15 minutes a day additionally on all my other exercises, just focusing on, picturing like complete success on my work. I think that's going to be really important, and I'm hoping that that's going to improve my week this week, because I am really up to the hilt with it, but that shouldn't stop me living a good life, and I think my mind and the way that I approach this, I can certainly focus on that and improve things, and at least make myself feel better about it, about what I'm doing, because the direction I'm moving is brilliant. It's exactly where I want to go. So I don't know why I'm beating myself up about it. It's foolish. It's foolish. So I think that's mostly it. I think this has been pretty long that I've been recording for. I've got to say, I think you'll agree there's a lot of learning there. I hope some of the things here that you might have learnt from. I don't know what's going to happen this next week. I feel like I'm really, really in it now. I'm really working hard, and I'm really getting results out. I can't always see them when it happens, but these reviews are really helping with that. So I guess I'll see you on the next video. See you on the next day.